All right, everybody, we're here taking this Yamaha 225 4-stroke off it. This is the motor that's got the cracked block. If you've seen in the first video, we're going to take this off, and we have a new, not new, but we have a Yamaha 4-stroke 225 we're going to put right back on this boat. So it's going to be off with the old and in with the new running motor. Gonna go ahead and take this stuff off. Probably not gonna record most of it. I might do a little time lapse here. I've already got a couple of videos, or one video on pulling motors off, taking them on, putting them on. So basically this bolt somebody stripped out here. Super inconvenient here. Neither one of these metric or American's gonna grab it. You're gonna have to get a wrench out and turn on this bad bird. I'll show you guys real quick. As you can see, thing's corroded out and not very good, so we're gonna go ahead and try and figure out a way to get that bolt out. Alright, we got that undisconnected. This disconnected. What do we have left? Just the fuel line, I believe. Looks like I'm gonna have to cut that zip tie there. It's holding us up here. Yeah, let me go cut that. Alright, we got this cable fished out of there after we cut the zip tie. Only thing we got to do now is disconnect this fuel hose. Fuel hose is going to be right here. So let's cut this tie strap there. Pull that off, and we should be completely disconnected from the motor. Things really, that's all that's powering your motor right here. So we'll set that out to the side there, and that's what's going to hook up to our new motor. Only other thing we have to do, we're going to pull this steering ram off because this whole assembly is going off. Alright, so got these two nuts off here. This is the only side we're going to take off. The other side we shouldn't have to loosen up. This should slide completely out to the left here if we have any kind of luck. We are going to have to take the motor all the way back to be able to clear off of the transom on the other side to be able to pull it out. So we're going to try and remove this bracket right here, and from there we should be pretty close to finishing this side up. Once we remove this, we're going to have to pull that one bolt off of up in here. I get my little pointer ratchet, that bolt right in here, and once we remove that, we're going to be good to go and pull our 4 motor bolts to replace this motor. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. Here we go. Alright, so here we go. We're going to try and pull this off. Well, that normally doesn't go that easy. You can see someone put a Zerk fitting on here to grease this thing. Apparently that worked because that was the easiest one I've ever taken off. So mentally noted, or this system isn't that old, so that was nice. Slid right off. Normally that does not go that way, so keep in mind that that's probably going to be the most frustrating piece on your boat. Anytime I ever do one, I feel like that's going to be the holdup. So here we go to the next step. Going to get that bolt out of there, and our steering will be loose, and we're going to pull the motor off. All right, we got the steering off here. As you can see, this 14mm bolt, got it taken out. It's 14mm nut on top, and then it's 14mm on the bottom, and it threads all the way through here. Got that out there, and now from here, you just got to pull this bolt, this bolt. There's two on the other side, right here, 1, 2 on the jack plate. Those are fairly simple, straightforward bolts to get to. Before we do that, we are going to hook up our little crane here, little cherry picker, whatever you want to call it. Gonna get that hooked up here to the top eyes here. Got a little chain I've used for a multiple one of these. Had no issues so far, so gotta get that going now, and here we go. All right, what I typically like to do is hook one shackle here, put the other shackle here, and run it forward and back to both shackles here. So I'm gonna run that real quick, and I'll show you how I have it in just a moment. All right, here we go. End connected here, all the way looped through here, and then back up and connected just like that. A loose chain hanging down back through there. This will pull tight here, equal out. We'll run a bolt through the center here somewhere. That we got, try and keep it, the hook right dead center. And we'll pluck this thing off of here. Finally, we got some progress here. I was able to unscrew this bolt between this pry bar and this impact, and finally was able to loosen that bolt up enough. It had so much corrosion around it to be able to let this motor fall on both sides. Took a solid 30-45 minutes. Now we can finish. Here we go. All right, we got the motor bolts out. Motor's hanging on its own. Gonna try and slide it out just a little bit so we can get this steering shaft off. Now we got enough room to get the steering out. Just see right there. First, what I gotta do, I gotta get a spacer. Looks like the one already fell off. Right down here. Slide it back this way. So we got that. Now I can push this right out of there. As you see, steering's out. Motor's hanging on its own. And we're done. Alright, we pulled forward, got our tools cleaned up. Gonna drop this over at the storage facility we have and get cleaned up and ready for tomorrow. It's supposed to be another bright blue sunny sky. Look at this sky out here today. It looks beautiful. Gonna get the next 225 on here. We're probably gonna use this cowling. This cowling is probably gonna be a lot better shape than the one we got coming, as long as it still fits. And this right here, the cover, we'll put all that stuff back on once we get this bad bird dropped on the ground somewhere. really not gonna matter how well we treat it, because it's got a hole in the block. So anywho, off to go drop this boat off, and we'll see you tomorrow bright and early, getting the next one started. All right, we made it to the storage unit. Gonna go pick up this boat. A buddy of mine's, he's selling me the motor off of it, so we got to pick the boat up and take it back to the house and pull the motor off. We're gonna put this motor on the flats boat. It is a 25-inch shaft, so it's gonna be a little long, but it's at least gonna give us a running motor for the time being. Getting a super deal on the boat motor itself here. So gonna go ahead and try and find this boat here. I think we just found it, actually. It should be this 25-foot Pro Sport right there, Yamaha on the back of it. So we made it here. Gonna go pick this thing up, hook up to it, and roll out. But that's the boat. All right, just did the same steps we did yesterday, just with this motor instead of the other one. So it's all disconnected, hanging on its own. I'm gonna go ahead and take this back to my buddy, drop it off, and this Pro line's gonna get a nice new 300 on the back of it, and we're gonna get this nice 225. So off to drop this thing off and be back to put the motor back on the Maverick. All right, that's all you do. Back your boat up close enough, you can start wiggling this thing around. We'll figure out where we want it on the elevation. Since this is a 25-inch shaft, I got a feeling we're gonna go to this top hole here just to get it up as high as we can. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. We gonna go ahead and start this process, and not much to it. Here we go. Well, we got the motor all mounted up last night, got our steering done, all of our cables. The only thing I didn't hook up was the fuel. Main reason is the boat was reported as a possible submerged boat, so I didn't want to put the fuel line up to it and have bad fuel in the fuel tank. So I'm gonna pump all the fuel out of this thing. Got it opened up here, got the fuel line here. We're just gonna start pumping it up and see what we have. I got a mechanical fuel, or a electric fuel pump that we're gonna hook up to it. And then from there, we're gonna get the jack plate pump working. We're gonna get the power pole pump hooked up with the power pole. Stay tuned, keep watching. We're rebuilding this thing one step at a time. Before we do the jack plate and everything, that's gonna be the next episode. We're gonna get this thing running. We're gonna take it out and see how it runs. So stay tuned today. This hopefully is the final day till we get it on the water and kind of test to see what we have. All right, well, we got the power hooked up to this thing. As you see, we are plugged in, ready to work. Just gonna test to see if it'll turn over real quick. Don't want to get it running too hard. We don't have any water hooked to it or anything, so just gonna spin it over real quick. Oh yeah, we're working. About to finish wrapping this thing up and take it to the water. We get in the water. Seems to be running just fine. We're about to find out soon. All right, we on the water with the big bird. Seems to be running, Christina. What'd you think?
It's a nice boat.
Yep. We made it. What an evening on the water.